Hi, this is now my second YouTube video. I'm very proud of myself for coming this far. Okay, I'm not sure what the lighting's doing, but just gonna have to work. So if you watched my video prior to this, you know that I started a small business a couple months ago called Pup & Co. And we do pet portraits, and we recently added some apparel for dog lovers and all that stuff. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it right here. But if you go to our website, you'll see my dog Cash is literally like he's the mascot of Pup & Co. Basically inspired the whole entire business. So if you watch the video prior to this, you'll know exactly how it started and where we got the idea and all that stuff. But it also has a lot to do with our dog Cash, and he's a rescue dog, and he is the light of my life, and I love him so much and would do anything for him. Anybody that knows me knows that I love Cash more than a lot of things. Let me get some water. This is my emotional support water bottle. I'll probably have this in every video, by the way. Got my Pup & Co sticker. I've always had dogs. I love dogs, and I just love them. They are the best, and they make lots of people very happy, and I truly love them. In case you couldn't tell, my whole business is based around dogs. But my fiance and I moved to Miami about 2 years ago, and let me start from the beginning. So we always kind of I definitely wanted a dog, and when we first moved into our own place, we were like, okay, yeah, we 100% have to get a dog, like 100% sometime down the line. So I had been following a rescue, like their email newsletter. So I had adopted a dog from them previously, and they would send email newsletters every couple of weeks when they had dogs that were available for adoption. So I will put his story here, the email that I got. But it was a few months after we had moved, so we were kind of settled in, kind of like, I was like inching more towards the idea of, okay, we're getting a dog. So once we got that email, it was pretty much, I just saw his little face sitting there, and I read his story about him having to be returned to the shelter like 3 times. Now I can kind of understand that, but it just kind of, it really hurt my heart to see that he was in that position in a shelter and just have been taken back so many times. His little guy was probably so confused, and I just wanted to meet him. So I emailed the rescuer, and because we had already had a relationship before, she kind of knew what, knew that I would be like a good dog mom. So we reached out to her, and then we set up a meeting, and I went to drive. It was like 2 hours away, and I drove to see him for the first time. And of course, he's like this adorable little puppy. I think he weighed probably like 25 pounds. And I just loved him. I just wanted him really bad. But because we were in an apartment, we had to get approval from them first. So I couldn't take him home that day, even though I really wanted to. And he was just so sweet and really calm, super attentive. My hair is a disaster. Super aware of his surroundings. Didn't make a peep the whole time I was there. Okay, so let's just take that into consideration, that he literally made no noise at all. He was such an angel. Okay, so a few weeks later, we finally get the approval from our apartment, and we arranged to bring him home. His name was Raz. I don't know why. Raz, like R-A-Z-Z. I don't know why they gave him that name, but we changed it to Cash because we like money, and it just fit his personality. So we named him Cash. The first week, month, 2 months maybe, it wasn't that great. So the first 2 to 3 months, it was not good. It was bad. Like, okay, we bring him home, and I know like the rescuers in the shelter weren't trying to intentionally deceive us, but you know how puppies are. Like when you first go and see them, they're gonna be like super calm, and I was probably with him for like 20 minutes, so I just did not have a good grip on what his personality was going to be like, or exactly what kind of dog he was. So the shelter kind of just told us, we think he's either a mix between a Great Dane or a pointer or a Catahoula. Okay, so I started doing all this research before we actually picked him up on pointers. And if you know anything about pointers, you know that they are like very high energy. They're kind of nuts if they don't get exercise enough. They don't like being in small spaces. They don't like being left by themselves, or they will get into stuff. And that's kind of hard to tell based on a Google search of what pointers' personality is like. You know, the Google search will be like, the temperament is mild, or like blah blah blah, just stuff that you can't know until you actually are like experienced with that dog. So what I was thinking when we got him, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what we were thinking. I think we were thinking it'd be more manageable, or I don't know. Just when we first got him, we had really, yes, I'd had dogs before, but I've never had a dog like Ash. Like, he would, and keep in mind too, this was right before the pandemic started, and we didn't know before, like when we first got him, we didn't know that we were both gonna have to work from home. I work from home anyways, but my fiance Gabe did not work from home. So at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody started working from home, and he worked from home for probably like 2 months, and those 2 months were pretty bad. Cash was getting used to his new home, so he was of course restless. He was a puppy, so I think he was 3 months when we got him. So he was just in a terrible teenager stage. He would literally bark all day. Like we couldn't leave him alone. We couldn't do a lot of things. We couldn't talk on the phone because he would start barking at us. And of course, when we both worked from home, we both had to talk on the phone. So yeah, the first 2 months were very interesting. No matter how much we exercised him, I just didn't fully understand what he needed. I didn't understand what exercise requirements he should have. I didn't understand how much sleep he should have. And looking back now, I realized that he was like way over exercised and way too tired all the time, and that's why he was so crazy, because I just didn't understand like the demands of really owning a puppy. And I can say now that I have come a long way, and I know so much more about dogs and like dog training and dog behaviors and their body language and all that stuff now that I've had him for about over a year. So I have learned a lot, but those first 2 months were definitely rough. I'm not gonna lie, we did consider taking him back, and like I said, I definitely get now why so many people wanted to take him back. But I'm so glad we stuck it out, because he is such a good boy. He has his moments still, but he is just such a good boy. I literally love him so much. I love him so much. And basically, in terms of the business, everybody knows that dogs cost a lot of money, and like I said, we just weren't prepared. We weren't prepared when we first got him. We did not prepare ourselves mentally, but thank goodness we were in a good spot financially, where we were able to, you know, really take care of him. And that's kind of how we knew that we wanted to start a dog-centered business, because there are so many people that have dogs, and so many people that spend a bunch of money on their dogs, just making them happy and making sure that they are well taken care of. And you know, are really entertained and all that stuff. And people are such good dog moms and dog dads, they obviously want to give their dogs the world. And I knew that, and Gabe knew that, and that's kind of why we wanted to start a dog-centered business. And it's been going well so far. People love their dogs. I know there are like a million people out there that are just like me and are obsessed with their dog and would do anything for them. So that's kind of why we started Pup & Co. And we just want to be able to give Cash and any other dogs we adopt the best, literally the best life possible. We want to have like huge backyards and a bunch of land for them to run around, and the best food and the best vets and the best toys, and we just want to give our dog, new dog coming soon, the best life possible. So yeah, that's kind of how Cash came to be, and I love him very much. Yes, he has come a long way. He's still a puppy. He's we don't know his exact age, but we think he's about a year and a half. I don't know how old he actually is. He might be older than that, but if you are considering adopting a dog, just make sure you have mentally prepared yourself, and prepare yourself if they're in the puppy stage, even if they're not, the first couple months while they get adjusted to your home and a new schedule and all that stuff, they're probably gonna be nuts. So just make sure that you are actually ready. I don't know why this turned into this message, but it is really important to make sure that you're actually ready, especially if you are adopting a dog that you're not sure of the exact breed or their temperaments or any triggers they might have. It's just like a newborn baby. I wouldn't know because I don't have any kids, thank goodness, but I'm assuming that's what it's like, because okay, real moms don't come for me, but like, you can't sleep because he will bark. You can't leave the house because he will bark. You literally have to change your whole schedule based around him, the dog. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Am I just crazy? Or do other people do that too? Like, not leave the house because they'd rather be with their dog at home? Maybe I am crazy. Okay, hopefully not, but yeah, that's kind of how we found Cash. And if you have questions about him, I'm sure I'm missing something, but yes, he is the love of my life. I would do anything for him. I love him so much, and I'm so glad that we found him, and I'm so glad that we stuck it out those first few months, because they were bad. They were bad. But yeah, thank you for watching, and if you want to check out my website and the business I was talking about earlier and how you'll see Cash all over the place on it, you can go to pupandco.com, or you can follow on Instagram. I post a lot about me and Cash in the daily stories and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, feel free to follow on Instagram, and let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, thanks for watching.